Go
All
ahead.
right, we are live on another episode of Cleats and Beats. This is
Yep.
episode 6.
We're running,
Luck,
son. Episode
we're
6
running.
already.
Yeah, we're not missing a beat. Lucky here, Nana's over there.
Yep.
Got some good topics to go over today.
Yeah, a lot of good
Um,
topics. Yeah.
we'll start with football. Jamie Vardy.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy, man. Can you believe he's actually like 38 years old?
Yeah, he plays. He plays with a lot of energy. He
He
doesn't seem like he's
does.
ever slowing down, but
Yeah. I
eventually.
mean, how old is how old is Wayne Rooney? Actually, let me look real
Yeah,
quick.
I know
Cause
you can compare what happened.
yeah,
Uh,
so Rooney is oh man, like
Probably
39
around the
years
same
old.
age. Yeah, I would think around the same age.
And Jamie Jamie Vardy is 38 years old and
Mm,
he's still playing and his energy is ridiculous. I still can't believe he's playing with that high intensity of football right now.
yeah.
Um but yeah, he announced on the Leicester Instagram that he's gonna be leaving Leicester at the end of the season.
Mhm.
He was with them for 13 years. And when I saw that, I really couldn't believe it because after they won the title back,
Mhm.
I don't know how many years now.
Mhm.
I can't remember how many years now, but usually big teams comes up and like scope you and stuff like that. So I definitely thought Jamie Vardy was gonna leave because he was red hot.
Yeah.
And I think,
Likewise, I'm
uh,
surprised he stayed for so long because
yeah,
usually you step up to another club after you like
yeah,
win the Premier League.
exactly. Because Mahrez left, City came and scooped Mahrez, and Golo Kante, they came and scooped him. So I'm really surprised that he was able to stay for that long and
Mhm.
he actually stayed. So yeah, he scored 198 goals and in 495 appearances in his
Man.
13-year career. Yeah, which is very very admirable. Like you can't take that lightly. Actually, the EPL title they won it was back in 2016.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so
9 years ago.
yeah, but he said during the announcement in the video that he's not retiring from football.
Mm.
But he hasn't gotten any offers yet. But do you see him staying at in the EPL or coming to our Farmers League in the United States, or where could you potentially see him? Because they're getting demoted back in the championship. I don't know if you know that.
Oh, they are? Leicester's going
Yeah,
down?
yeah. Leicester's going
Uh,
down, and I think all the bottom three is going down. The bottom three that came up, they all going
mm,
down.
mm.
Yeah,
Back and forth.
yeah. I think it's been confirmed. So United, it's not going down. They hung in there.
Yeah.
So
You
it's
know,
gonna be.
I think he has some ownership
Mhm.
of a US club.
Oh, oh, he does, doesn't he?
I don't know if it's a MLS club or the
Hmm.
division below, but he
Hmm.
does have some ownership of a team in the US.
Hmm.
So I mean, if he still wants to play, it'll probably be a step below a European team, is my guess.
Hmm. Hmm.
But he'll have suitors. I think he'll have suitors. But Farmers League
Yeah,
makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know.
yeah. And he was so he's 38. He can play up to 40 and still
Mhm.
tear it up. He just has energy and the strength, and
Mhm.
I think he can do it really. And I really like him as a player. He's very very like how we always say. He's very direct. He when he's attacking, he's
He takes his
attacking.
chances.
He's
Yeah.
taking his chances. And when they went on that 2016 run, he was just incredible. His
Mhm.
energy and how he was playing. And when they won that, he was in his 30s. Now that I'm
Yeah, he
thinking
was
about it.
yeah, that
Yeah.
was 9 years ago. So he's
Yeah.
probably early 30s, late 20s.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
oh man. So I'm really hoping that I don't know if he'd be able to stay in the EP. I don't know if any team will be able to take him in the EP and play at a high level.
Mhm.
Maybe if they would have been like a mid-table team this season, then I could see him in clubs like like West Ham or like Crystal
Mhm.
Palace or like
Mhm.
Brighton or any or like Everton or something like that. But since they're going down, it's really really hard for a championship player to get looked at by a premiership because he's not playing the premiership side. until
Hmm.
you play like like in your FAs and like the FA Cups or the League Cup and stuff like that. So it'll be really interesting to see where he lands. And yeah, some award that he won. He actually won the FA Cup. I remember when they won it against Chelsea.
Hmm.
He also won the Community Shield and then two championship title with Leicester. That's how they got promoted. So since they're going down, it's gonna be very, very interesting where he ends up. Yeah.
So the rumors are saying
Where?
Wrexham, but it's
Oh, Wrexham. Yeah.
yeah. I think they're in the they got they
Is
just got
Wrexham in
promoted
the
to championship.
championship?
I think they just got promoted into the
Oh,
championship. So
who's that actor that owns Wrexham? He's
Ryan
very active.
Reynolds.
Ryan
Yeah,
Reynolds. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that's that's huge for them. I feel like they're like on a up trajectory. They just keep
Yeah,
going up and up.
they keep going up. So, but I mean, for Vardy, I don't know if he'll want to. Well, it kind of depends on personal goals, what he wants to do. But
Yeah.
going back to the championship, maybe that's not something he wants, or maybe that's something he wants. It
Yeah.
could it
Yeah.
could be. You kind of look at it as MLS is a step below, but you kind of depends on what city you're in. You might like the lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a lot of travel though compared to the Premier League for sure.
Yeah. How many is a quick diverge, but I digress. But how many of championship teams do you
I
think
know.
can beat the MLS? MLS,
Yeah.
like the top five MLS on the table.
I think it'd be close. I think it would be pretty
Uh,
even because I'm looking because the MLS teams
yeah.
they're okay, but it just there's just not a lot of
The-
depth on the field. So you have a lot of
yeah.
young players, you have players you never heard of that are
Yeah.
decent, but quality
The,
isn't. It's not.
the
It's
quality is
not.
not
It's not
there.
top quality.
Yeah.
Um, but they should have like friendly games against other
Yeah.
leagues. I think it would be
Yeah.
interesting to see where they stack up level wise.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but for like when you talk about like Jamie Vardy compared to Kevin De Bruyne,
Hmm.
he seems surprised about sitting at wanting to renew his contract. So he seems like he wants to play in the
Hmm.
top league still.
Hmm.
So for someone like him, he'll probably sniff around for where he can get. He can still be
Hmm.
in the top leagues or get paid what he wants to get paid or where his
Yeah.
family wants to stay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely. How long
um,
do you, how many more years do you think somebody like Vardy you will play up to? Because you have the likes of Ronaldo and Messi are abnormally, like really, they really are.
mhm,
Because Ronaldo is just a different human.
mhm,
But then also he always talk about his health and what he eats and he doesn't drink, and I think that's what fueled him and play for so long.
mhm.
But most footballers, once they hit what do you think the average age span for
Yeah,
footballers?
once you're past mid 30s, then you like once you're in the 35, 36, 37,
Mm-hmm.
then it's really up to your desire
Mm-hmm.
if you want to continue to push yourself at the highest level because
Mm-hmm.
your body's slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is getting harder to maintain, even though you can maintain, but it gets harder and harder as you
Mm-hmm.
go up in age. So I think it's how you take care of yourself, your desire, really. If you have a
Absolutely.
good desire and you take care of yourself, you can play. Like look at Luka Modric. He doesn't look out of
Man,
place in Real
at
Madrid.
all.
So
Yeah. He might
in
go to World
position,
Cup again. Yeah.
yeah, and if you play in a position where you're not a winger doing full out sprints, you'll be fine.
It'll
If
be
you
fine, yeah.
so even
Or like you
a
could go
striker, you just have to be clever with your runs.
with the runs.
If you're smart with your runs, you can still make an impact into your 40s.
Yeah. Buffon, the goalkeeper, if your goalkeeper can play for a long time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, there's I for this game, I think it all really boils down to your your diet.
yeah,
Even if you remember back in high school when we played, we didn't really like eat.
yeah. I didn't even think about. Yeah,
We didn't really eat that well. But I think since we were just so young,
yeah.
we
I
could
would
just
always,
really
talk. I'm like, I never even knew anything about
about
nutrition when
that.
I was in high
Yeah,
school.
just
Nutrition, hydration,
hydration.
stretching. warming up. It
Yeah,
was
all
just
that
you,
stuff.
you,
Just
your body
just
is
go.
ready to go no matter what.
Just yeah, just imagine how much I think better probably we would have gotten, or like how much we
Hmm.
would have.
If he took it
Because
more
sometimes it's just
seriously.
exhausted. Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, because the boys I coach, my varsity boys, I tell them all the time, your diet is just so important. Your diet is just so important.
yeah.
Some of them, eating hot Cheetos before games,
Hmm.
Twinkies,
Hmm.
all those things
Avoid
is
sugar
it
as
does
much as you
avoid.
can.
Yeah, it doesn't fill into your body and stuff like that, and then they're getting cramps because they're not eating banana or like good fruits and things like that to really
Yeah.
tone down the muscle. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, yeah. Nowadays, when I have games, my prep starts the day or two before.
Yep.
Day or two before, like if I have a game on Sunday, Friday night, I'm
Yep.
drinking even more than I usually drink.
The water.
Friday, I'm stretching. Saturday, I'm stretching.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time Sunday comes, my
Mm-hmm.
body is a little bit ready for
Mm-hmm.
for running 90 minutes. But as a kid, that's why you see Lamine Yamal and all these kids. They're at their peak
At the
physicality.
peak.
They can run
They
nonstop
can.
without getting tired.
Yep.
They can play
Yeah.
back to back.
Yep.
At that age, your body is just so fresh. So
Yeah.
it's an advantage.
Yeah. So for sure. So yeah. Congrats to Jamie Vardy. He's
As
one hell of a player.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where all these players that are aging now will end up
I
because
know going. Yeah.
yeah, because
Yeah.
it's MLS has it offers, especially if you're in a good city, it offers and probably a good pay where you might not get in
Oh
Europe.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Um, and there's benefits. It's a new experience. I see a new country. I
Yep.
know Lukaku talked about it, like maybe a couple years ago, like when he's close to being done, he might, like living in San Diego would be amazing,
That's
be
what I was just
beautiful.
gonna say. Like coming from Europe where it's raining, raining, like in London, raining, 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 raining.
Hmm.
If I'm in my late 30s, not I'm going to LA Galaxy. I'm looking at San Diego. I'm
Hmm.
looking at somewhere in Texas,
Hmm.
somewhere in Miami, somewhere warm. You
Makes
know,
sense. Yeah, you don't
yeah,
have to deal with the rain or the
yeah,
cold every day.
yeah, yeah. Every day, yeah. So we'll see where he ends up in the next coming weeks or so, as the summer transfer is approaching pretty soon here. So
Hmm.
we will see. Yeah. So let's switch on to Bayern. They're gonna. I think they did clinch it. Because if they were to beat Mainz,
Hmm.
and if Bayer Leverkusen failed to beat Augsburg, they basically win the Bundesliga title, and that gives Harry Kane his first title.
Yeah, they beat Mainz and
Did
Leverkusen
they?
won. I'm
Okay,
just looking at the scores. They beat Mainz 3-0.
3-0.
Leverkusen.
Okay,
Yeah, they
Eh,
won their last game 2-0.
okay. So they still have.
I mean, it's still, yeah, I still think they're gonna
Still
win the
gonna be
league.
done in that.
So
What's the point difference now?
yeah, so Bayern's got 75 points. Leverkusen got 67. Um,
Yeah.
so 8 points.
And yeah, I still think it's done and dusted.
I think
This,
it's done and dusted.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's no coming back there.
Let me look at the matches coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've got
To
three
play
more games.
Leipzig,
They got
Bayern
Leipzig.
play, that's
Uh,
gonna be a tough one.
that'll be a tough one.
Yeah,
And Hoffenheim.
Hoffenheim. Yeah,
Leipzig is fifth. Hoffenheim is all right. There's 15. So Leipzig's probably the bigger challenge of the
yeah,
last two games. So I think Kane will get his trophy finally.
yeah,
but
yeah.
but does it mean that much when you join
I
a team
know, I
that's
know.
used to winning? But
Yeah,
hey, yeah, you'll take
it's
it
trophy. It's a trophy. Yeah, you can't do it in
because
the EPO with Tottenham. So
look at what Tottenham look at where Tottenham is right
it's
now.
struggling right now. Liverpool is
Yeah,
beating them right now 2-1. It was
man,
1-1 and Liverpool just went up. I think if Liverpool
it's
win
three
is
one now.
oh yeah, it's time.
Damn, what happened to Tottenham? They were so respectable last year.
Yeah, and
And
I
then the
mean,
coach was being praised as, this miracle worker because he
when
took
he
the
come in,
team.
yeah,
And
it's
he come
usually
in
like that.
fresh.
When
Yeah.
he come in fresh, it's like yeah, yeah, and then all of a sudden, when reality actually hits, that's the same thing with the Chelsea coach Maresca. Remember,
Hmm. Yeah.
they were
When he
just
came in, it
popping off.
was like he was the savior.
Yeah,
But he did
and
say in his first few press
mhm,
conferences that it's gonna take time. We're not there yet. So he
yeah,
was actually being
real,
realistic about what the team
realistic.
could
Yeah,
do. Yeah.
yeah. Oh man, yeah. So we will see how that goes. It.
I like watching Tottenham's coach press conference because sometimes he goes in.
I think he knows he's out of here though. Don't you think?
But I don't understand. It's probably yes, but um you can't just keep firing coaches. Like at
Yeah,
at some point you have to let one, try to build a team.
yeah.
Because
That's true. That's true.
if you think about it, look at the players. They're adapting to a new system every 2 years. And it's a lot easier to fire the coach. But sometimes if you have a coach that's actually trying to build something, they need
Hmm.
time to build something.
Yeah,
Um,
it's easier to fire a coach than getting rid of players because
Much
players are on a
easier.
long, long, long contracts and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
you have to pay these penalties, and they just don't want to go through all that stuff with the agent. So you just get rid of the coach.
Yeah.
American sports is not really like that, huh? Now that I'm thinking about it,
Not as quick. They are like if you look at basketball, they do fire pretty quickly, but Premier League, I feel like the fans' pressure
they
is
do.
the
They do.
fans put a lot of pressure on the coaches if you're not performing. American sports, they give
Hmm.
them a little bit more of a leeway
No
versus
grace. Yeah,
yeah. Like
it makes sense.
if you look at Graham Potter, he's the West Ham coach now,
Yeah,
but I felt like Chelsea was too big of a job for him.
it was. He wasn't ready for it.
I don't think he was
Um,
ready for it.
I think West Ham, right where he's at, is like a happy medium for him, and
Hmm.
which is fine.
Yeah,
Those kind of big, big clubs, big personalities, right?
yeah.
So you need those kind of personalities, kind of coaches.
Because he was doing a really good job at Brighton,
Yeah,
and Chelsea comes calling, and they offer you this much money.
you
It's
go.
it's hard to say no.
Yeah, and even
But
if they go ahead.
you can tell that he's a good coach because he was able
Yeah.
to coach up Brighton. So when Chelsea
Hmm.
fired him in less than a year, it's not because he was dealt a messy hand. Chelsea's squad was too large. There's a
It
lot
was
of
too
big
large.
personalities. So even though he's
Yeah.
a good coach, he's not able to manage the whole squad just because you need someone like Mourinho to
Yeah, too exactly. No, you
manage some
do.
of those players.
Or
Yeah.
like Pep, or like even
Yeah.
Carlo,
Yeah.
which we'll talk about him coming up next, Carlo
Hmm.
Ancelotti. Yeah. So yeah. So let's quickly look at the top four right now. Let's brush through that real quick. You want
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
take over that, starting from the EPL, and then you can go down to La Liga
Let me
and
look at the
Bundesliga.
table. Yep.
Yeah.
Top four, Liverpool first with 82 points, Arsenal second with 67 points.
Mhm.
Liverpool's beating Tottenham right now 3-1, so it looks like
Yeah.
another 3 points for them. Have they clinched it yet, or is it?
I think this one clinches it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that this one clinches it because they play Chelsea next.
Okay.
Chelsea's in the dying need. So we see how
Mm.
Liverpool play against Chelsea. That
Yeah.
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 Okay, so
Um,
then you're saying, yeah.
and then yeah, Arsenal 67 points, Newcastle 62, City fourth place currently 61,
Hmm.
Chelsea fifth place 60,
Go
Forest
differential.
sixth place 60. Wow. So,
I I still think Arsenal is not fully safe. I know people are
I don't
laughing
think
when I
they're
said
fully
that.
safe. Yeah.
I mean, the fully safe is to get the top four, but second place is still kind of you. You'd be surprised if City just win their next four games and go second.
Hmm.
Like
Very possible. Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me at all,
Yeah. They've won
right?
their last three games. Arsenal is drew. So,
Yeah,
they're still
yeah,
they're dropping points.
yeah.
Uh And then yeah, Forest. I think it'll come to the last,
It will. It might.
last few games because Villa at seventh is. just 3 points
Mm-hmm.
shy of fifth and sixth place Chelsea and
Mm-hmm.
Forest. So
Mm-hmm.
it's very, very close.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
wow, it's a good race up top.
It will. It will be really interesting how it ends. Do you want to look at the next one? Is it
Yeah,
La
let's
Liga or Bundesliga?
yeah, let's I just have Syria up right now.
Yeah, Syria.
Uh Napoli is tied first with Inter at 71 points.
Jeez, that's gonna go
Yeah,
down
that's
the
gonna
wire
be
too.
close. That's gonna be really, really down to the last few games. Inter has
Wow.
lost their last two games, so they're dropping some points. Atalanta's third at 64. Bologna's fourth at 60. And
Ooh, Juve 60.
Juventus 60.
Okay.
Juve's playing right now, so hope.
Lazio for, oh my gosh. So all the way from fourth to ninth is open.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Four to eight. Because I don't
Yeah,
think
I
I
don't
don't
think
think AC
Milan's
Milan
had
will.
a rough year. I don't think
Yeah.
so.
But they beat Inter. That's so random. They
Yeah,
beat Inter 3-0. Anyway. So we
Milan
have
has good potential, but they haven't put it together this season.
exactly. Yeah. Christian Pulisic, I wonder if he's still gonna stay or if he's gonna leave. We'll see how
Yeah,
that
I
goes.
think he'll stay.
You think he'll stay?
He's liked Italy. He's been playing really well. Like his form is good. His
Yeah.
team is not getting the results, but he's playing.
He's
He's
playing
playing
well.
pretty. He's playing well. Yeah.
So Juve is at 60, Roma is at 60 points, Lazio's at Lazio's 59, Fiorentina is 59. Oh my gosh.
Man, this is very
This is a good
close.
one.
This
This
is a
is
good one. This is a
yeah.
good one to watch.
This almost like the EPL too. Wow, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
But
Okay.
Juve is playing Monza, who's last in the table. So if they don't, it should be a pretty comfortable win.
Yeah.
So they'll probably get
Oh,
3 points.
that
I'm
shit
just
on my
looking at
system.
yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
looking at the
In
games
this
coming
game.
up. Yeah. Okay. So
Wow.
Juventus, very close race.
Phew.
Let's look at the Bundesliga. We already talked about
Yeah.
Bundesliga, right? No, we didn't.
No, we didn't talk about the table. The
Okay.
Bundesliga. Yeah.
Bayern's first place, 75 points. Leverkusen, 67.
Yep.
Frankfurt, 55. Freiburg, 51st. So
51. Okay. So
third, fourth, fifth. Leipzig is at 49.
wow,
Dortmund,
Dortmund.
48. Yeah.
Wow. Dortmund play
Same.
Wolfsburg the next game. It's gonna be a tough game. Wolfsburg always give those top squads. Wow, I didn't even realize
It's very
Dortmund was
tight.
at six. Yeah, it's really
Yeah,
really tight actually.
they're playing. Yeah, they're playing pretty good.
So
Uh,
55, 51, 49, 48, 47.
Very close. The Champions League spots they'll be fighting for that
Yeah. I
top
don't
four
even I
because
don't even want to look at the Liga because I I just read. Wow, okay, so that's Bundesliga.
all right. Let me look at
Which one was it? Liga?
yeah.
Oh, La Liga. Let's look at La Liga.
Actually, oh, I was okay. PSG just lost a game actually.
What it is.
I think we jinxed them.
I just yeah, exactly. You
All
just
right, let's
probably
look at you said La Liga.
yeah. Let's look at La Liga real quick.
All right, Barcelona's up first place,
Woo!
76 points. Real Madrid 72 points. Very close.
Oh, very
4
very
points.
close. It's not done and dusted for Barca.
Did you win? We'll talk about the game
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah.
Rudiger lost his mind.
I know he's lost his damn mind. I don't know what's going on with that guy, but we'll talk about that next.
um, Atletico Madrid is third with 66. Athletic Club fourth with 60. Seems like the top four is pretty close to being solidified
Solidify,
between
yeah.
yeah. So
If
there's
Athletic Club wins your next game and then Real Betis, yeah, Real, yeah. I think it's gonna be Barca, Real, Athletic Madrid, and
mhm,
yeah, the fourth place is gonna be secure. It's gonna be between Real and Athletic Club. So
yeah.
we'll see
Yeah,
how that
this
one goes.
the La Liga is usually it's usually you can usually predict the top four. It's
All
usually
the
the
time.
same clubs that are up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, all right.
Especially those three: Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico Madrid. And
Mhm.
sometimes you have like Villarreal comes in there, but their main trophy is the Europa League. So once
Mhm.
Europa once the Europa
Mhm.
League comes, oh
Mhm.
man, don't mess with those guys.
That's their trophy.
That's that. I think they won it like 3 or 4 times in a row, or something crazy like that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's like their trophy. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All
So
right. Uh,
and then our
League
favorite league, League One.
League on. So PSG first with 78 points. I know last
Can you say
podcast
that again? First with what?
78
Can
points.
you say that again? First with what?
78 points. They
and then
are they're
tell us
playing themselves really.
and tell us the second place team.
56 points.
So how many
My God.
points?
Oh, 18 points. God.
No, it's more than that. It's 20. It's 22
Oh, 22.
22 points.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, 22. Man, 22-point lead.
They
So
won it
that's
back in. They won it back in December.
maybe that's why they let the last game
Yeah,
go.
exactly. That's why I think they
Guess
also
it really
might have
mattered.
That's why I also think they might have a little bit of edge over Arsenal in the Champions League
Yeah.
because
This
they
is
can
this is
afford
it.
they can afford to rest players.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can have their whole back 11 just play the rest of the season and it wouldn't matter. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, I digress. Keep going.
Yeah, other than PSG, two through the seventh position on the table is close.
Oh my
So,
oh my
you know,
oh wow. So
yeah,
seventh place can even shoot up and go to second.
yeah, two through seven, they're all wide open. They're only
Wow.
separated by 2 points, essentially.
Can
So,
you repeat ca-
yeah, I
can
can
you
go through
repeat
them.
that? Yeah, because I think I distracted you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. So
Hmm.
Currently Leo's in second place with 56 points.
Hmm.
Monaco's in third with 55. Marseille 55. Lyon 54. Nice 54. Strasbourg 54.
And it ends there, right?
And it pretty much ends there because
Yeah.
Lens is 40 and eighth place with 45 points. So they have a lot of ground to make up. But you know, a lot to play for everyone except PSG, really.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot
That's
to play for.
crazy.
So
Only 1 point separate those all those two through seven. Yeah, that is
mhm,
wild.
yeah,
I guess that's gonna make the Liga actually
that's
like
competitive because
excited. Yeah.
yeah, every game. I mean, all these teams in the top seven, they're gonna be
Mhm.
playing really hard for every game.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
it's interesting.
Actually,
You kind of want to see that though, as a
my bag League One. I didn't.
yeah.
I
It's just
wasn't
one team that is
that
still
won it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, if you look at PSG,
Mhm,
obviously they spend so much, so
mhm.
it makes sense why why they're up there because they built a really really good team.
Wow, that's crazy. All
Mhm.
right, so that's good. That's
Okay,
good.
there's
That
also if you
uh-huh.
in the app there's
Yep.
a chart of historical table positions, and I'm
Hmm.
looking at PSG from 2012,
Hmm.
essentially from 2012 till now, they've been in first in the table except 16 and 17 and 20 and 21. That's that's crazy.
That's the definition of a
That's
farmers league.
domination. That's domination.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm
And
looking
then
at
even
the
tell
coaches.
that's kind of
Yeah,
crazy. They even tells you like the coaches.
yeah,
I
yeah.
forgot
The coaching.
Tucho coach
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
Tuchel was there. He was there with
Yeah.
yeah, with all the big players. And the big
Yeah. I
players got
forgot
tired
about
of
that.
him and they got rid of him.
Oh, Blanc. Wow. Emery.
Yeah.
Una Emery was there?
Yeah.
Pochettino. Wow, that's crazy. That's kind of cool to see that.
Mm-hmm. PSG. He coached at PSG, Arsenal. Then he
Yeah.
went to Spain, Villarreal, and came back to the Premier League. He's a
Wow.
good coach. He seems
Yeah.
like he gets he gets his team to perform really well when he comes there.
The stadium is actually not that big.
Which
Park
one?
Park the Prince is only 47,000, huh?
Mm.
I thought it was gonna be bigger. In TV, it looks a lot bigger than
It
what it is.
looks huge on TV.
Yeah, it's 47,000 is really not that big.
Where do you see the stadium size? Oh, the bottom.
On the
Okay.
bottom, yeah.
That's I think that's big. You don't
Yeah.
want it to be too big where, you feel it feels hard to fill because
Yeah.
it seems like they're always full up the stadium.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Wow. All right, so that's a quick run up for the top four. The big game of the weekend
Mhm.
was Copa del Rey, another El Clasico between Real Madrid and Barcelona,
Mhm.
and Barcelona won. And there's a lot of talking points in this game. Do you want to
Yeah.
start us off, or do you want me to go first?
No, I can start us off.
Yeah, you can start.
I think it was a very good game. There was a lot of goals back and forth,
Yeah, which was expected.
which was expected.
Hmm.
I mean, I think if you look at the whole season, Barcelona has been performing well, performing better than Real Madrid.
Hmm.
So you can tell that Real Madrid had to kind of they had a point to prove in this game. So
They did.
they came out well. They started out well. Mbappe scored in the second half on a
Yeah,
free kick.
which they say he
Mm,
never does. That's
yeah,
actually one of his first free kicks. Yeah.
yeah. And I'm surprised. I didn't know he was that injured. Um, where he couldn't start because
Yeah,
this is a big game. I don't care if you're injured. I'm playing this
I
game. I would
playing.
want to
Yeah,
play as
I
full
was
as
wondering. Yeah, when I saw the sound lineup, I thought maybe because of the rift between him and Carlo, that's why he didn't start him. But I didn't know he was injured.
he can't be that injured.
Yeah, it has.
If I can run, I'm playing. This is
Yeah,
it's a cup final.
yeah.
That's the mentality I would have. So I was a little surprised with that. Um,
Did you
but it
think
was
that
good
made
back.
a difference? Did you think that made a difference in the first half for Barcelona? Because Barcelona were all over.
Yeah, I think that made a difference because
Yeah.
as far as matchups, they can kind of you know they're able. So Vinicius is playing down the middle. So Barnes is
Hmm.
playing out the left. So
Hmm.
I felt like Vinny's not used to playing down the middle.
Hmm.
So I don't think the attacking threat was as lethal as he is when he's with space and down the
Yep.
left.
Yep.
So it's very interesting how you just move a player around and it changes the dynamic of the attacking line.
Yeah.
Because if you're a winger and you're used to taking on players, you just you kind of stay out wide, and then once the ball gets to you, it's almost an attacking threat because you're pushing down the line, you can cross the
Hmm.
ball, you can take them one on one. Versus
Yeah.
when you're in the middle, you're making runs left and right. You're looking for a player to find you versus you creating your chance. And
Yeah.
so if no one finds you, you're not really getting any chances. So I can see why he likes playing. He can dictate the pace of play more when he's on the wing.
When he's on the wing. Yeah.
Yeah. So um Barcelona dominated the first half, and then towards the end of the game, fireworks just started happening.
Which
Uh
which is expected.
which is
And
expected. Yeah, they're going for the win. Mbappe scored out the free kick, and then Ferran Torres scored in the 84th minute.
yeah.
Um, I don't know what Courtois was doing coming out,
He's a
coming out so far
he
because
always makes it
you,
silly. He always does
you got to gauge those because, but even if you watch it in slow motion,
that. Hmm.
where the ball was just at 18 or just outside the box. So even if he would have got it, you'd have had to chest it, head it. He couldn't have used his hands.
Yeah, I think he
So
underestimated it.
he underestimated it, and so it was just touch outside, past the
Hmm.
goalkeeper, and then a wide open net. Um,
It was
Chouameni
crazy.
scored. Yeah, before that, Chouameni scored off the header, which was I think it was off his shoulder, but it
Yeah,
was
at that point, I was like, okay, it's done and dusted, and they're
yeah,
gonna close it out.
I thought so too. Um,
But then they kept attacking. I was
and then
like, oh,
they kept attack, and then Madrid almost had two PKs. I think Rafinha's or Barcelona, yeah, Madrid almost had a PK, and then Barcelona almost had a PK too.
yeah, yeah, they almost
Be-
did, yeah, but they
Rafinha's
didn't.
one was pretty soft. I thought. I don't think that was a PK.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah,
Um,
I'm glad that the refs didn't call them to, because then that will kind of influence it will influence the game, like the
and pretty much
result.
dictate the game. You
Yeah,
don't ever want the unless it's really obvious. You don't ever want the referee to dictate the game or
exactly.
dictate the result of the game.
Especially a game this magnitude, where the refs are always cheating for one side, apparently, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Madrid, like how you said in the beginning of they've gone through a lot of games where it's just a lot of mistake that has they just been riding through. And when they play a very good fast wingers or really fast or like basically an organized team, they
Mhm,
really get exposed, right?
mhm,
And I
mhm,
think that's what has been happening. They just I I think the stars that they have are not working hard enough for the team. There's a lot of individualism on the team,
mhm.
and like when you look at a team like a Liverpool, for example, Mo Salah's and like Diaz and Nunes, they're always chasing for the ball.
Mhm.
When the team is playing out in the back, they're high pressing, they're running everywhere. But Madrid, I don't really see that, right?
Yeah, the
It's,
hunger.
the hunger is just it's just not there.
Mhm,
Um, I'll give them credit. In the second half, they came up on the front foot and they were going in for tackle and a tackling and all that stuff. But Modric just seemed like his legs was kind of giving in a little bit, right?
mhm.
You
He
need a
came in.
younger
He came in the 80 or the 55th minute, so he
women.
played. Yeah, he played. You know, a good part of the second half, then the extra time.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. I don't blame the guy. He has a lot of miles.
Mhm.
So,
Where do
f-
where do you
go
think
ahead.
they go from here, though? Real Madrid. Do you think they try to make some changes in the offseason when the
They'll make
season's
change.
over?
Well, they're adding Trent, which is gonna be a big boost.
Yeah.
And Carlo leaving is gonna be. I think it's gonna shift the dynamic for sure. Once a new coach come in, it will shift them. Yeah, I
Yeah, it
think they.
will. It will. Like they won't be as comfortable.
Yeah, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna sign a lot.
Mhm.
Maybe they might sign one or two, maybe like a defensive midfielder or maybe like an attacking midfielder. But I think they will keep the same squad.
Mhm.
Carlo being there, Ancelotti, I think this might be his third or fourth season.
Mhm.
So I think they need a refresher. They probably might hire maybe a younger coach and Carlo
Mhm.
who will hopefully like put fire up on these guys because I
Mhm.
think a lot of them are also too comfortable. They're in the high wages. They're not playing how Madrid needs to be played.
Yeah.
And now that I'm really thinking about it, I think I'm gonna start agree with you what you said last week on our last pod. Um, Mbappe does make them worse.
It makes them
I was
worse.
just, which is shocking because I was watching. I was like, oh man, he that's really not his natural position. His natural position is where Vini is playing,
Mhm.
and Jude is playing well, but like it's just something that's just not clicking. They force too many balls to Mbappe that, and if he doesn't finish
It
or
just
doesn't
it
have that
doesn't
end
it
product,
doesn't
yeah,
make the right runs.
it doesn't.
If you
Yeah,
look
so
if you look at like Lewandowski, he's a natural number 9. He knows when to make the runs. He knows when to tell the players to pass him the ball. He's used to playing either by himself or with someone else up there and
or
creating without the ball. And he has the hunger in front of
hmm
goal. I
hmm
mean, Mbappe has the hunger, but
hmm
yeah,
yeah,
you just
another one.
you see him at France. You see him when he was at
Yeah,
PSG.
yeah,
He was the game changing player.
yeah,
But in this new position, it's not working.
yeah. And another one too is Erling Haaland.
Mhm.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
He makes a meal out of nothing. He literally throw the ball in the box. He uses his
Just
body, his strength.
find
He's
him,
fighting.
he'll put it in, yeah.
Yep, yeah. That's also why I think City might really suffer, and not to go off topic, or suffer
Mhm.
next season because you don't have Kevin De Bruyne there to be feeding them those kind of balls, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So so when Modric do leave, Valverde was absolutely magical. He
He's a
was
great player.
busting, yeah, he was
Yeah.
busting his ass off in the second half. I give
Mhm,
him credit. He was just doing everything that they can.
mhm.
Um, yeah, so we will see how Madrid goes from here in the summer. Like you said, it's gonna be really interesting to see what direction that they take. Are they gonna? I mean, I think their front is set. You have their front is set. You have Mbappe and Vini up there.
I think,
Rodrigo is up there too. So
they need to try something different because
mm,
it hasn't their formation hasn't worked it hasn't worked well this year.
mhm.
They need to figure out something. Maybe another year will Mbappe might get comfortable playing, but
It's also,
given the players that they have, they should be scoring easily.
hmm
Even look at
it,
who scored. It was Mbappe off a free kick, which he normally doesn't do, and Chouameni off a header, which is not normal. Like you would expect Vinny, Rodrigo, Bellingham to at least have more chances that they have this year. So
yeah,
they need to
yeah,
they need to change something, I think.
they have to. Yeah, yeah. I think Carlo leaving is gonna be a big deal. They whoever the next coach is have a big task on his hand
Mhm.
because first you have to manage the egos in the locker room.
Mhm.
Can you imagine managing Vini and Rudiger and Mbappe
Mhm.
at the same time?
Mhm. It's tough.
Um, it's
Because
tough.
they're used to being probably alphas, being outspoken. Plus, they've been there for so many years. So you're the new person in the system. You're the
Yep,
new individual in the situation.
yep. That's
Yeah.
why you need big personality coaches.
Yeah.
Your Morinos, your Pep, your Klopp.
Yeah.
Klopp, they're also thinking Klopp is testing the waters. So you can't
I
count
mean,
him out.
there's a lot of big moves. Even like Rashford, what's gonna happen? Is he gonna go on loan again?
Oh yeah,
There's a
yeah.
lot
There's
of
a lot of
moves that
question mark.
could
Yeah.
happen this year.
Yeah,
Um,
it gives a lot of talk about over the summer transfer
mhm,
moves.
mhm.
So
I
that's gonna
really
be fun.
I really like the transfer market,
Oh man, it's
especially in the summer. It's interesting to see where players will go.
Fabricio,
Yeah.
the busiest guy
God,
on the planet.
that guy is tweeting up a storm during
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, all the time, but especially during the transfer window.
yeah. And a lot of them even text him. A lot of the players directly have his phone number and then they text him. He
Yeah.
was talking about that.
I
Yeah,
was gonna say that's the only because he's so accurate and he's so timely with his information.
yeah.
He's
Everything that
got to
he
be
says
getting it directly from the
from the
source
from the source. Yeah, yeah, and he
because
breaks it. Yeah.
yeah, it's like okay, someone is telling you, hey, I'm on the plane, I'm boarding, I'm about to go,
Yeah, and then he
Y-
says it.
and then he
Yeah,
says it. So
yeah,
it's good to have someone like that. And then
yeah,
just going back to Madrid,
yep.
did you when Endrick came on? You can tell he was really like this moment was almost too big for him. He
Yeah,
looked
it was.
really, really nervous.
He did.
He looked a little shell shocked. And
He
then the
did.
first chance he had, if you go back and watch the highlights,
Yeah.
he was like on the corner of the 18. He took a cut and then he tried to rifle a shot from a really bad position. Everyone on the field was like, "What the fuck?"
What is he
But like,
doing?
they're like, "What is
He,
this kid doing?" But the way they reacted, they
yeah,
weren't surprised. They were like, "This
yeah.
is how he plays.
He's.
He doesn't make the smart pass." Because if you would have chipped the ball to the back corner, you had
Mhm.
Mbappe and Vinny there, and then you had someone on the top of the 18. So for him to shoot there, it's like you're not really gonna
What
score
are you
from that
doing?
chance.
Yeah.
It's not a good chance. But the fact that three players, Modric, Vinny, and Mbappe, did the same thing, you can tell that he does this in the training ground, and they're used to him making mistakes like this because they all went like this at the
Yeah.
same time. You should watch it. It's pretty
He,
telling.
he's also 18.
Yeah.
Super young.
Mhm.
So he still has a lot. He still has a lot to grow.
Mhm.
But he did you catch a rift that he has with Carlo?
He does?
Yeah, there was this rift that he had with Carlo. I think it was previous game. Ancelotti was gonna put him on really, really late or something like that, and he got mad about it because he didn't want to go on, and it was
He
just
didn't
all
wanna go
just
on?
yeah. It was just
It was
he's
too
just like
late.
why? Yeah, it
Yeah,
was just too
yeah, what's
late,
the
and
point? Yeah.
it was just all those. But yeah, so switching on to Barcelona, then what a season!
Great season.
When they hired Hans Flick, I was like, my goodness, I wanted him at Chelsea so bad. That guy, he's never lost a final now. All seven that he's gone, he's won.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, yeah. He just I don't know. He just using the players so well. Barcelona
Seems
is
like
so
he has a really
youthful.
good system.
He does, and
Seems like he has a
Barcelona
good
is
system.
so youthful, right? You have Lemire, you have Gavi, you have Pedri, you have all those guys that I think like around 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So Pedri was just incredible in the first half. He was finding passes here, he was finding these pockets, he was winning tackles. He was just way too much for them in the first half.
Mhm.
And
Have a good squad. Really good
yeah,
squad.
he was forcing mistakes here. Oh man, he was just incredible. So it's a good trophy for them. They're still aiming for the treble. Um, they have La Liga, which they're up by, well, how many points was it? 4 points or 5 points?
I thought it was more than that.
And then they have the Champions League, so they aiming for the treble. My
4
question,
points.
yeah, 4 point. Question for you: you think they'll be able to pull the treble? It's a tall order.
I think the Champions League obviously would be the most challenging one.
Yeah,
Uh, but
if they
you
can
know,
keep everybody fit too.
if they can keep everybody fit, I think they have a really good chance.
Yeah,
They have a good team. They have a good, they're coached really well. They've been
yeah,
playing great all year. They have a lot of confidence.
yeah,
Even like the last game, Lewandowski was hurt, so your starting number 9 isn't even playing, and you still beat Real
yeah,
Madrid. So,
yeah. They still have a Clasico to come, like a regular game season.
mhm, yeah,
So, who's home? Can you quickly find out who's home in that game? Because I
yep.
think that might determine who will
Barce
really.
Barcelona's home.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Um,
I think that'd be a good matchup because there's a lot of tempers flaring in this game, as you can
uh-huh,
see about what happened at the end. But
uh-huh.
that'll be a good game.
I think that might determine the title. If Real Madrid somehow, some way get a result there, then I think we're still talking.
Mhm.
Um, but I think that definitely might determine the title. I just don't know. Yeah, I just don't know if Madrid will be able to go there and beat them because
Yeah.
now they're beating them how many times? Is it 3 times this season?
Yeah, I think they beat them pretty much every time they played them this season.
Jeez, and then they have to go there.
And then they have to go, yeah.
Yeah, third win against. Oh
It's
man,
it's gonna yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. I mean, it's must watch, so I'll be watching, but
yeah, I'll definitely tune in and see how that goes. I just
I'm interested to see what Real Madrid, what how they try
who they
to,
sign. Oh,
who
who
they
they sign
sign
is.
and what changes they'll make because they need to make a lot of changes
Uh huh.
from what I've seen this year. I should maybe not a lot, but eh, for what they're paying their squad and the results they're getting, it doesn't make sense.
It
Especially
doesn't.
how they played last year. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah. But it's crazy how quick people forget. Real Madrid won back to back Champions League,
Hmm. Yeah.
and then next season they getting rid of the coach. It's big clubs like that, like you said, the patient level is not.
Hmm.
It's not there.
Yeah.
So, Real Madrid really needed this trophy.
They
They
did.
really, really, really
Yeah.
needed
This
this
was
trophy.
this is pretty much yeah. This would have been at least make them feel a little better about what they've done this
Yeah,
season because now
yeah.
it's just the league is left, Champions League's gone, Copa del Rey is gone, and
That's it.
you lost against your biggest rival in the
Three
in the
times.
league. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it's definitely a must win.
Hmm.
So, random stat: Barcelona has won the Copa del Rey 32 times.
Damn, 32
Uh,
times.
32 times. Athletic Club has won it 24 times. And then Real Madrid is in third place with 20. And then the fourth place is Atletico Madrid with 10.
Mm,
S-
wow,
32 times
it's impressive.
is real impressive. It's
Very
real impressive.
impressive.
It's a lot. So we'll see how that goes. I don't know. Is the Champions League next week? I didn't even check. I
I
don't
think
think
I
it
think
can.
it's
It can be. It'll be
it
too
can't.
early.
You think so? When is it? Look,
Yeah. Check. Yeah, check real quick so we can get our prediction on for next
Champions
week.
League is next week. It's-
Okay. Today it's on Tuesday, right?
yeah, did we make predictions last week? I thought.
No, not for this one. Not for Arsenal PSG. No, I don't think
Okay.
so.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's next Tuesday, Wednesday.
um, you want to start? Who do you got? Arsenal's at home against PSG. I know it's a headache. You muted. Uh,
My bad. My bad.
there we
I'm
go.
back.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, it's just tough.
I, I,
I'll go. I think Arsenal will win this one. This
mhm,
game. I don't know about the tie yet. Let's see how they perform in the first game. But I'll
okay.
do like 1-0 Arsenal.
Oh, 1-0. I think it's gonna be a 2-1. I think it's gonna be a 2-1 Arsenal win. I think it's gonna be more than 1-0 game.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it's gonna be 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay. Fair.
Um, and then the Barca one. That's
Barca.
yeah.
I think Barca will win this game. I'll go 2-0 in
Oh, okay.
Barcelona.
Is Barca
Yeah.
home? Yeah,
Barcelona's home. Yeah.
yeah. I think 2-1 too. Again, I'm giving Barca the win for this one.
Okay.
What do we expect from both of these games? Do we expect firework? We expect nervous.
I expect. Yeah, they'll probably both be nervous, but I expect fireworks. Because that's why I feel like Arsenal PSG,
Hmm.
it'll be a really, really close match. Because I think they match up really well, and Arsenal's running on a high. PSG is also, dominating the league. So
Yeah, the
they're
bookies
gonna,
can separate them for some reason.
yeah, it'll be hard for one to separate over the other.
Hmm.
So that's why I picked a low scoring game, but we'll see. And then
Yeah.
Barcelona and Inter. I feel like Barcelona is really
Ooh,
flying high right now
they
as
are.
compared to Inter. Um, I don't know if Lewandowski will be back by the next game. I don't think he's going to,
I don't.
but
I don't think I
the
will.
high from beating Real Madrid is gonna. I think it'll push them over the
That's it.
edge.
Or it could also backfire where it's going to be a lot of tired legs. But I mean, they still have 3 days to recover.
Hmm.
So I think it'll be still be good for them. But Inter doesn't really attack like that.
They
Um,
kind of. It seems like they wait on the counter attack.
they do, and then they kill you with Lataro Martinez and those
Yeah.
guys up top. So it'll be yeah. I looked and then the bookies can separate between Arsenal and PSG. They have similar style. Dembele, if Dembele start going off,
Hmm.
Arsenal is gonna have a long game.
And the
So
Inter's lost their last three games.
yeah, so that could also be a good thing for them too because they're like, okay, we like in a losing streak, so now we have to snap out of it.
Yeah, but that
So
tells you that they haven't been playing well.
that's true. But have they been playing their starters, or are they waiting to use? You know what I mean? Are they waiting to? Uh, have they been resting guys for
So
Barcelona?
the game versus Inter was a semifinal of Copa Italia. So I don't think they're arresting guys,
Hmm,
and they're so close in the table that it wouldn't make sense to rest anyone this late
that's
in the
true.
season.
That's true.
So I think they're playing their best 11. It's just they're not getting the results as that they were earlier. So
That's it. Yeah,
if you look at their trend, they're just trending a little bit down
yeah.
compared to
Downwards.
Barcelona, who's
Yeah,
trending up.
yeah. So they might. This is a perfect time to catch them on the
Yeah,
right
perfect time
side.
to
Yeah.
take advantage of the time.
Pavard ankle injury, Thuram, wow, muscle injury, and Carboni. Wow, for Inter,
Yeah,
that's
I
not
think out of all the teams, they're probably the weakest right now. But
yeah.
there's always surprises in the Champions League.
That's the thing.
So
That's
you just never
that's
know.
that's the craziness about the Champions League is when you ride on a high horse. So
Yeah, yeah,
we'll see. We'll see.
yeah.
I'm super excited for both games
Hmm.
to see how that goes. So we will see how that go for both of them. That's an hour of football talk for you guys. I
Football
brought
talk
it
for your
up
head top.
for your head tops, man. Talk about head top. We're moving to music tops.
Yeah.
We're switching too quickly to music. There's a lot that's happening in the music industry. Um,
Yes.
it's a lot of hot new releases. Ray Vaughn that I've been raging about. TDE.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good. The song I listened to today was really good.
Fire.
It's
Yeah.
fire. Yeah.
Yeah. It's he didn't classify as an album. Um, so the album is called The Good, the Bad, and the Dollar Menu. Um, I know he released it like how Dolce released it. You know, Dolce has been everywhere now. If you're not seeing Dolce,
Dolce is everywhere. I don't know How is she everywhere? What is what is going on? How is she doing
so
this?
so let me tell you how. So she actually has been releasing music. So that song, the anxiety, people
Mm-hmm.
trying that song, he actually
Mm-hmm.
released it a long time ago, like in her living room, blah blah. So after this Grammy win and he popped out, then all of a sudden, like her stuff just started blowing. But she's been around for a while, and she's
Mm-hmm.
been under TD umbrella, but she wasn't really popping like that. But I think one day, I think Kendrick co-signed her. She put Dolce is the hardest out on her IG story. That's all.
I saw Kendrick.
uh,
See, Kendrick needs to come out more. See
that's-
the impact he has on people.
dude. And then after that, dude, I went and check out the album is fire. It was one of my favorite albums last year, to be honest. You have
Nice,
to listen to it.
nice, nice.
And she's not a bad rapper. She's a good rapper, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of hate on her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's just been popping up. She's everywhere. She's doing her thing. So yeah, so back to the Ray Vaughn thing. She has a few songs too with. She has one song with Pusha T too that I really love. I just love his rapping style. I just love
Mm-hmm.
the rawness. The whole album. He went through a lot actually. I also watched one interview.
Rayvon
Yeah,
did.
yeah, Ray
Okay.
Vaughn. Yeah, I also watched one interview of him when he said something happened. I think the his daughter's wife died.
Mm.
Something has happened. I think through birth or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and something crazy has happened to him. So he moved to actually Arizona in Phoenix, and he
Mm-hmm.
was living in his car with his daughter for like a while.
Wow.
Yeah, before the whole T, before the whole TDE stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up going back, and then he's slowly picking up like steam now. Um, but his music is really raw and pure. He kind of remind me a little bit of Meek, a little bit Meek Mill, like the way that he sounds, like the rawness of it, like how
Mm-hmm.
it sounds. Yeah. So I really enjoy it. Did you like those ones that I sang? I think I sang the double XL, um, double XLT. I mean triple XLT is what I sent to
Yeah,
you.
Triple XLT was good. The
Yeah,
song, yeah, I liked them all. The
he's
Future Young Thug song was really
yeah,
good.
yeah,
Uh, Future's was flowing. The
yeah. He
way
was.
when he came on the beat, I was like, yeah, this is Future.
Yeah,
He
yeah. He
he
was.
knows how to
Yeah,
ride the beat. It
yeah,
just it just has the flow. Triple XLT was good, but probably out of the three, it was probably my least favorite.
yeah,
But they were all good. They're all
yeah.
good songs.
They also have a music video for that
Which one?
Future a Young
I have to
Thug one.
I have to check that one out.
Yeah,
Is this their Young Thug's first release
yep,
since?
from
Okay,
that album that is coming. So the music video is you
have to
remember
check it
that
out.
Kanye and the Kanye and Jay-Z song Otis, where they cut up the Lamborghini and then they were riding around.
Was that Otis?
Yeah.
Okay,
I,
that was
yeah,
a
yeah.
good. That's a memorable video.
Yeah, so they kind of did the same thing with
Okay,
that. Yeah, yeah, I think it was a homage to it.
yeah.
Yeah, but you know how last week I was saying I'm not really like a Young Thug fan like that. I actually like this song.
Mm.
I actually like this song. We're really both flowing.
Back
So
in simpler times when Jay-Z and Kanye were making music.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So I'm really, really, really interested to see how the album is gonna sound. You know,
Mhm.
he can't talk any gang stuff or any tough stuff. So because the fans will be listening.
Fans are always listening.
Yeah. So those are like two main releases that were worth it. And then Russ, I don't know if you know Russ or if you
Yeah, I
guys,
know Russ. Yeah, yeah. I think business-wise, I think he's a smart businessman. In
yeah.
addition to like the music, you know.
Yeah. I think Russ is like an acquired taste, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of it's either you like him or you don't really like it. But there are some songs of him that I like. He has a song with Rick Ross that from a couple albums ago that I really enjoy.
Mhm.
So he also released so yeah, that's quickly brushed through for that for the music. Um and the main event, you went to the GNX tour.
I did. Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
we talked about it last
yeah,
episode, and I was like, "Yeah, I should probably get tickets." And so I
yeah.
got tickets that night.
Tell us from the beginning how you decided to get ticket and how you made it work. You made it happen.
Yeah, I made it so it was on my calendar to
Yeah.
go. I had just forgotten that it was coming up, and
Mhm,
so, when I knew his first show was in Minnesota, and I knew
mhm.
Houston was, early in the
Oh,
schedule. So I
okay.
just didn't know which date. So when I looked it up and I was like, it was the date, it was the next day. And I was like, I can, why not? Why shouldn't I go? I want to experience this. When he first announced it, I wanted to experience it live.
Yeah.
So, and the
Yeah.
first time I saw him was in Houston, Warehouse Live, a long time ago. I still look at some of
Yeah.
the footage because this is before he made it big. He was still, I think it was right when,
Good Kid,
I,
Messy.
I think it was Good Kid, Mad City.
Oh,
Maybe
damn.
even no, it wasn't definitely Damn. I think it was Good Kid,
Yeah.
Mad City had come out, and he had a really good following. But when the video I sent you of walking into the stadium, man, I can't describe it. Like,
Huge.
first of all, a lot of people don't perform at that stadium because it's so big,
Yeah. How
and
many does it hold? I forgot to ask you.
man, I don't know how many
Yeah.
holds, but it wasn't an arena. It was because I've been there for a soccer game. It
Is that
holds 125,000. Wait, no, that's square
oh,
footage.
no, that's way too
That's
much.
that's too much. 72,000.
Gee, that's a lot.
That's where the football team plays here in Houston. But
What does NRG stand for?
it's a energy company in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
a energy
Okay.
company. So,
All
but
right. Cool.
when you so I had floor seats. So
Mhm,
you would walk. So you felt when you were walking into your seats, it felt like you were part of the show. So
mhm,
all the lights are kind of in the middle, and then as
mhm,
you walk in, you can
mhm,
feel everyone around you, because
mhm,
it's completely surrounded by people. So you can feel, all the talking, all the murmurs, all the stuff coming on around you. And then
mhm.
as you look up, you're just like, you take it all in. It was it's hard to describe. It just felt very
Yeah,
immersive. It was like,
yeah.
man, this is a hip hop show.
I
Most of
know.
the time, it's an arena. It's a little bit smaller. It's probably
Yeah.
most of the time it's like half that essentially.
Mm.
And then the floor seats probably weren't the best place to
To see it.
to see
Uh-huh.
it because it's all the same level and the stage isn't
Oh,
as high up as you would think.
I see what you think. Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're standing the whole time. If I were to redo it again, I would have bought seats on the side where you're seated a little bit higher,
Or the higher,
like
so you can
so you can
guide me first.
see his performance. You don't have to look over people's heads because the
Oh, okay.
floor seats is all the same, all the same level going back. So you don't have the elevation as a normal seat where you
Yeah.
always have a good vantage point.
If you have a tall guy in front of you, it's
And the
game
tall guy in front of you is, and yeah, and Kendrick seems so little because
little.
he's a little. The stage is set back all the way back. So when you
Yeah.
look at seats, just keep that in mind.
That's probably the only down part of it, right? Of the
That was
show.
the only down part of it, but everything else was good. It was a really long show.
Hmm.
The energy was great. The demographic was varied. People of all ages, of all colors.
Wow.
singing all the songs. I was
Yeah.
surprised. Yeah, there was people were really getting into it. I
Yeah.
really liked the intro. I really like how he came out. I don't know if I should tell you, but the
You
way
probably, yeah.
I'll keep it to myself.
Yeah. Did I mean, you can still talk about it without this. Did um did they had opening acts? You know how they have local acts before they come on, or was it they just started off right away?
Yeah, so they had DJ Drama. He was there and he played or not DJ Drama, DJ Mustard.
Muscle, yeah,
He
yeah.
was the one who kind of got the crowd warmed up, but that was before I got there, so I didn't see him.
Hmm.
So essentially, I think on the ticket it says 7 o'clock, but the show doesn't really start until it didn't start until 8:30. So since it was a weekday show,
Hmm.
it had to be done by midnight. And so I
Oh,
just kind of did the math. So it has to be done by
okay.
like midnight, and they're gonna come on for about 2 hours. So I just figured they would come on stage at about 8:30.
Yeah, yeah.
And so when they came on stage, they came right about 8:30
Right.
is
Okay.
specifically was when they came on. Lights came off. They have a huge screen,
Shit.
showing everything. And the way he did it was very creative. I
Creative.
I I
Yeah.
was like, I didn't expect it because usually they come out from below the stage, but this one was you'll see it when you go.
Yeah. When I yeah.
Yeah,
Is it
it was very creative,
were the skits worth it intertwined into the show? I heard
very
the
worth it.
skits.
It was
Okay.
worth it. Yeah, if you could hear it because the skits everyone is yelling, everyone is talking at the same time.
Mm.
So if
But
you
you
can
can
hear
still
you
hear
can
it.
still hear it, but if you like you have to really pay attention to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Uh and the way he did not like us was
This guy.
fucking hilarious. I forget
This guy
I forget what he said.
man up.
But it was very, very funny because it
Yeah.
was like drop, drop,
Drop.
drop, drop, drop.
This guy.
But it was intertwined with all the skits he had
Mhm.
done. And the skits were like him and SZA were in a deposition. They were being asked questions and they were answering the questions, and then they would kind of come in and out of the questions. Um, so it
Yeah.
was very clever.
Yeah. It seems like really well thought out, and the lights and all that stuff too.
Yeah,
Uh,
the performance was good. He had the baggy shit on, baggy
why?
clothes on.
Why? Why is he doing that? Is
I
it
don't know. It's just, I guess this is luck.
maybe it's a yeah, maybe it's a look for it because I think Mr. Morale he was in suits and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I think this is like a different. Uh, yeah, people were saying they wanted to hear some song from Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, but there wasn't a lot like
No,
N95 or any other.
none of that.
It's more GNX and Good Kid, Mad City and some damn and SZA. Were the songs split or did
Yeah,
Kendrick did more than SZA?
no, that was what I was wondering how they were gonna do it.
Hmm.
So Kendrick came out, did a bunch of songs, and then he did one song with SZA. SZA went away, and then Kendrick did more songs,
Hmm.
and then SZA came on, did like 6 or 7 songs, and
Hmm.
then so Kendrick bunch, SZA a few,
Hmm.
SZA and Kendrick some.
Oh, okay, okay.
Kendrick came back again, and then SZA did like 10 songs.
Oh, jeez,
See, I was like, my goodness. So there's
dang.
if you look at the set list, there's 7 acts in the concert. So SZA did a whole bunch of songs, and then the last of it is Kendrick and SZA. And then TV Off, Not Like Us, as are the kind of the bangers. So when Not Like Us came out, I was like, all right, it's about to be
Christmas.
over. And
Okay.
then they did the Gloria was the last song. It was a beautiful song. They did it
Yeah.
together. But
TV.
as soon as Gloria came on, like
Yeah.
everyone just started leaving.
Oh, really?
Because
Oh.
I think everyone knew it was about to be over.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe they knew the set list. But I was like, I'm here. I've been here for 2.5 hours. I'm not
I'm
going
about to say
anywhere.
close it.
I'm
Close
gonna
it
close.
up.
I'm gonna close it out. So everyone just started, and you can tell. I mean, they can see obviously Kendrick and SZA can see everyone just leaving.
Hmm.
So I'm like, the traffic is gonna be bad
Oh,
anyway.
anyway,
It's
regardless.
just
Yeah.
5 minutes. Why are people
Yeah.
leaving? I guess people don't have patience. So
Impression.
I stayed until they got off the stage. But it was a nice duet that they did at the end.
Was it pack?
Dude, packed,
Oh,
packed.
shit.
It was full house. I was surprised.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was a full house, just
What was the
everywhere.
demographics like?
It was, I
Different.
don't know. So around me was kind of varied.
Yeah,
It was varied. It was
yeah.
I was gonna say everybody. It wasn't just a bunch of hip hop heads or a bunch of teenagers. It was, older folks, young folks, people our age.
Mm-hmm.
It was very because to sell out that big of a show, you need a wide audience. And I didn't think it could do it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
I know. I mean, he's
Because
riding the momentum from the Super Bowl, so
yeah,
it only makes sense.
yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So according to I don't know if you saw the data, the record, the opening night in Minneapolis, it grossed over $9.1 million
Wow.
for more
Wow.
than 47,000 fans. Averaging ticket was $192.
Yeah, it was expensive ticket.
Yeah, so it surpasses Eminem's record when he
Mm,
played in Australia back in 2019.
wow.
Um, and so it's also first rap concert to break this record
I don't think I've ever gone to a rap show that was in a stadium.
in the stadium. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I don't think that a lot of people, not a lot of rappers do it because
It's hard.
it's hard. Yeah, I mean, Travis Scott is Travis Scott considered a rapper?
He does yeah, but this is a stadium tour. Like
Oh, this is tour. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
this
Okay.
all every city he goes to is a big stadium.
Jeez.
Like Minneapolis, it was US Bank Stadium.
Yeah, yeah,
Usually it's Target Center
yeah,
for a rap artist. It's a little
yeah,
bit smaller, easier to sell. But I
yeah.
think the combination of SZA's fan base and Kendrick being on a hot wave right
On a
now,
highway.
they
Yeah,
can do it. But it was sold out. It looked like it was sold out. It was
yeah.
everywhere I
I was seeing
looked.
the clips and it looked sold out. Yeah.
Everywhere I looked, there was people everywhere.
Yeah. The next stop is in Atlanta, Georgia, the Mercedes Stadium.
Mm. Oh, he
That's
had
gonna
one
be
in Dallas this weekend, I think,
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
and
yeah.
then
In
Atlanta would be big.
Arlington, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The two one that I'm curious to see. He might switch things up a little bit. Is the LA one and the Toronto one. Two
Mhm.
nights in Toronto.
Damn.
That that's diabolical.
Even
Two
even
nights.
like even like when he performed "Not Like Us," he
Yeah.
said every word. There was no. He said, "Say Drake." Everything. No,
There's
no,
no filter. There's
no
no.
filter. Everything was
He's on
said.
his G run. He's on his G run right now.
Yeah, it was
I can't
crazy.
believe it. Yeah, that's yeah.
It's good.
If somebody's going and they're watching right now, what advice or what would you tell them?
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
get there early. If
Uh
you're
huh.
gonna pick a floor seats, try to stay close to the front.
Hmm.
But if you're gonna pick a lower level seat, it's try to stay next to the stage where you can kind of see a lot of the stage set and a lot of the
Gotcha.
show.
Gotcha.
So floor seats are gonna be standing the whole time. Most seats are
Yeah.
gonna be standing the whole
Standing the
time.
whole
So
time
so
anyway.
be
Yeah.
ready to be on your feet the whole time.
Yeah.
And then yeah, just have a good
Expect
time.
and expect a good show.
Yeah, expect a good show. Don't have any expectations. Um
Don't stay off social media before you're gonna go. Don't be on
Don't
your
yeah, don't let you want to be surprised. There's nothing better than a nice surprise at a performance. So don't memorize the set list. Don't think of a song. Just, go there and experience it as it's
yeah,
supposed to be live and be
yeah,
surprised. So that's what I would say.
yeah. And don't be on your phone. You can record a few here and there and take pictures here and there, but try to be in the moment, enjoy the show. Don't be on
Yeah.
your phone too much
Yeah.
because that
I
defeats
you miss so much while you're on your phone.
one of the
You
phone.
need to you need to there's like when SZA came out,
Hmm.
I got chills because
Yeah.
everybody was yelling so much that
Hmm.
I was like, you could feel the energy in the
Energy.
room just
Yeah.
lift. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, I can't record that and show you. You're not gonna experience that.
That's very,
No
yeah.
matter
It's,
no matter how I record it, you're never gonna experience what I felt in the building.
yeah. Is
So
she a pretty good performer?
yeah, she did good. That's what
Yeah.
when she had her 10 run 10-song run, I was very surprised because
Yeah,
she was going. She
just
was
going
she,
in.
she was going in. She did a lot of songs. She had choreography.
Yeah,
Yeah, she didn't
yeah.
miss a beat.
One last question on that. If you're a guy like me that don't listen to R&B that much,
Hmm.
what would you and you love Kendrick or you love hip hop and stuff like that, what would you recommend before the show? Would you recommend kind of brushing through a little bit of her discography so you're kind of familiar with the song first?
Yeah, definitely go through her discography so you know what song she might perform or the kind of the tempo she'll be in. But
Hmm.
even if you don't, you'll kind of feel the energy of the crowd as she's singing. But if you
Hmm.
want to know what she's singing, what she's saying, kind of the
Wow.
what the song sounds like, it's good. It's best to familiarize yourself with her
Okay.
category, her catalog, her recent
Hmm.
songs. What she'll be performing,
Yeah.
and then obviously all the songs she performed on all the songs that she's featured on
On
GNX,
Jenny.
they'll
Yeah.
perform at the show. So listen to
Yeah.
those. But
Yeah.
if even if you're not a fan, you'll still enjoy the show.
You
It's
still enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just the people in the crowd itself.
yeah.
And then one final question is was there a Kendrick song that you really, really wanted him to perform, but it didn't happen? I've already have some in my head, but I know it's not gonna happen. But is there a Kendrick song that you're like,
There's a
damn?
lot. There's a lot. Yeah, I'm trying to. I probably wanted to hear.
'Cause I know 2 hours
Uh,
go by really fast. By
it
the time
goes.
you realize, you're like, dang, it's already over.
It goes by fast. I was tired at the end of the show
I bet.
because
Yeah,
you're standing up the whole time. You're
I bet.
singing.
I bet.
Uh, um, he did a little bit of "Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe." I should
Mhm.
have said the B word, but he did
Yeah.
a little bit of it, but not really all of it. He did maybe
Okay.
like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Cartoons and cereal.
Nah, that's not gonna come out. I saw that live, and then when I saw it live, I was like, okay, this is probably the only time he's gonna perform this song.
Yeah. Mad City
Uh,
would Mad City would be crazy in stadium.
yeah,
If
Mad City will be
Pyros
great.
and Clip.
Yeah,
Oh
he'll
God, I
perform that
love.
one. There's a
Yeah.
lot that there's a
Yeah,
lot
it's a
that
lot. Yeah, Missy Moore and Big Seven is not getting any love.
no,
Yeah, that's crazy. I really actually
uh,
enjoyed that album.
yeah.
Start, once you start hitting your adult level status, and you kind of
Mhm,
listen to those songs, you're like, wow,
mhm.
it's actually really, really deep.
Yeah, let
Family
me
Ties is one that quickly saw on social media, and I shouldn't have, but I know he switched the verse. I just know Family Ties go crazy.
Mhm.
Every time I've seen clips, I'm like, my goodness. I know Baby Kim is gonna pop up in LA as a surprise. He has to.
Where is Baby Keem? Where you at? Where he
Ba-
had to
2 phones, Baby Kim. That's his name.
two phones, Baby Keem.
That's what they call him.
He
He's,
TV off went good. It went off because Mustard
yeah.
was there too. He was on stage performing
Oh
with
man,
him.
I just can't wait. I know Peekaboo and Hey Now. Oh my
Peekaboo
goodness,
went off.
Peekaboo.
Peekaboo is they play Peekaboo in NBA playoffs right now. Like
Do they?
when they go to commercial break.
He's a
When
Gatorade
they go to
commercial.
commercial break, it's either a lot of Kendrick. Sometimes they'll play Nokia by Drake.
Yeah,
But on TV, it's a lot of Kendrick, a lot of
yeah.
GNX.
You heard this quote before, right?
What's the
To the
quote?
victor, to the victor goes the spoils or something.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah. So if you win, you get, yeah. To the victor go the spoils.
Yeah,
So that's
it makes
winner.
sense.
The winner of the conflict or
Oh,
competition,
he also did
or is it the rewards. Go
he
ahead.
also did Poetic Justice. I was
Mm,
surprised. He did Poetic
wow,
Justice. And
that's
shout out to
crazy.
Drake.
Yeah, it's probably a shot. You just
Yeah.
never know. Everything is he does is as subliminal, some type
Even
of.
the even Rich Baby Daddy, that's a Drake song. SZA
Yeah,
did that.
yeah, yeah,
Um, but stay for the end. Like people that
yeah,
left, it was beautiful.
yeah.
The way
Over
that
there.
the way the concert started and the
Hmm.
way that it ended, they tied together.
Together, yeah.
And
Oh, okay, okay.
if you're paying attention to all of it, it
Because of the
makes
skits,
sense
so yeah,
because of
yeah,
the
yeah,
skits. They tie
yeah,
together,
yeah,
and Gloria is a beautiful song.
yeah. It's very
So
deep.
people are
Yeah,
like leaving. I'm like, enjoy this,
What's
please.
your
Don't
yeah.
leave. You know, this
Oh,
is them closing out the show.
yeah,
I can imagine being a performer and then they're probably used to it, but at the end of the show, you see people filing out. Like if
yeah.
you're at the end of a soccer game, people start to leave. It's
Yeah,
just kind of
and then
normal.
90th minute
Yeah,
goal
and the
come.
90th minute. Yeah, yeah. It was
That's
yeah,
that's crazy.
it was nice.
30 some more shows to go. I think 37 total or something
Damn,
like that.
that's a long run.
I think he's going to Europe too. Is he going to Europe? Yeah, I think he added Europe dates too.
They're gonna be tired.
After he's done, dude, we're not hearing back from that
No,
guy for
it's
another
over.
10 years. Dude, no, he's gonna be gone, and then Aubrey can come back with his melodies and
What
jingles.
what was the poem he wrote when he wrote a poem right before he came out, before he
The
popped out.
fleeting thoughts. You remember
Fleeting
me and you,
thoughts.
you
Yes,
and I were
floating
talking
fleet
about. Yeah, that's dude. That is one of the ultimate Joe Budden podcasts. I remember. I was dying.
because
Dude,
the
it's fun.
funniest thing about it was that
Yeah.
it's probably true. Like this is probably how he feels with
Mhm.
the hip hop landscape. But go ahead, you're gonna say something.
Yeah, I was saying, in Euphoria, when he say, "You think my life is all rap?" I genuinely think this guy. There's a clip that I saw on Twitter where there's a guy doing pull-ups.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like Long Beach or Venice Beach or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Kendrick's security is like sitting somewhere way far, but he has those long LA shorts and a black hoodie, and he just goes. You can't even know that it was him.
Mm-hmm.
He asked the guy if he can do the pull up. He does it, and then the guy also goes. He did it for like 5-10 minutes without nobody noticing.
Yeah. Because
Um,
he blends in.
yeah, he blends in. I think he genuinely don't like. I think he's secretly an introvert.
Yeah,
I
I think so too.
yeah,
Because he yeah, I think so too.
and then Drake is polar opposite, where it's just Drake's
Attention
kind of like,
seeker.
yeah, just I'm like, I'm in your face, and this guy is just, yeah, because that letter that he wrote before he dropped the morale and his wisdom, I was like, what is this guy talking about? Riddles?
When I spend most of my days with fleeting
There we go.
thoughts, writing, listening, and collecting old beach cruisers.
They
The
see
morning
everything.
rides keep me on a hill of silence. This is an introvert. No.
There's no, yeah, yeah.
The morning rides keep me on a hill of silence. So he
I'm here.
likes silence. He likes
Yeah.
being by himself. And you know, if you spend most of your days with fleeting thoughts, that means you're not
Mhm.
distracted by a lot of BS that happens day
Oh,
to
okay.
day. You're not being distracted by social media. You're not going out. You're kind of in the present, just living in the present.
Living in person. Yeah.
I go months without a phone. Drake
I
can't
go.
go a
Hold on.
day
Hold on.
without
Hold on.
post.
Hold on.
He
Hold on.
can't go a day without posting on
Can you
Instagram.
say? Can you say that part again? I go what?
I go months without a
Go
phone.
months without a phone. Okay.
Yeah, I can keep going, but let me
Then
skip
just
up a couple.
yeah.
While the world
Whatever.
around me evolves, I reflect on what matters the most: the life in
Which
which my worlds will land next. The life in which my words will land next. So
yeah.
I'm making an album as
What?
I
What?
produce my final. Go ahead.
Yeah. As I produce, just finish that last line. As I produce.
My final TDE album, comma. I feel joy to have been a part of such a culture imprint after 17 years.
Yeah. Yeah. So he knew. I really think everything that he does is really planned. That he it would be really interesting to, when Drake released that 400 gig, or I don't know what that thing was.
100 gigs.
Yeah, the 100 gig for your head top. I
Mm-hmm.
would love to see one like that for Kendrick, to just to see his recording process and like the
Mm-hmm.
songs, or like how he structured things, or it would be so
Oh, I
dope
would
to
love
see.
it. That would be
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, because
Uh,
even the Drake one, like seeing like when they were going through those, oh, Kendrick could go crazy on this beat. Remember, I forgot what song it was.
mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't think he likes the attention like that. I think he's one of the oldie artists that he genuinely don't like the attention like that. He just let the his work put for him.
I think J. Cole's like that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's so I don't even think you probably will allow any cameras in there, like recording process. Yeah, yeah.
Because those recordings are people around him, like around Drake, just recording the background while he's in the studio.
What's in the studio? Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that was part of his beef with UMG. It was that I've got all this archival footage that you
Mhm.
don't own that I have. So UMG, they want to own everything and
Yeah,
regarding the recording process. So him putting
yeah.
that out, I think, was a play into telling UMG there's a lot of stuff I can release that you don't own.
That you don't own. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's really interesting. Yeah, so
He's an
super
introvert.
excited.
And
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why
He is.
a lot of this is
It doesn't make
surprising
sense.
because it's not him. All this, even you could see in the Grammy speech, he wasn't comfortable
Mm-hmm,
because he got a lot of attention. A lot of people were there. A lot of people cheering for him. But if you
mm-hmm,
look at his speech,
mm-hmm.
it's not someone that's boastful or
No,
someone that's showing off. It was more reserved, which it seems
I
like
think
he's more reserved.
I think that's why it was so easy for him to also win this beef in a sense. Like people also kind of like the underdogs in a way where
Mm-hmm.
they're just not super cocky. They're super talented, but they're not really cocky in a sense. So when they win, it's kind of like a good thing to see. Like somebody like I know diverging, but N'Golo Kante when he won the premiership
Mm-hmm.
or like the work, I was genuinely happy for the guy. I was like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
even know this guy, but like he just super calm, not boastful. So when you have those big wins, people can relate to it more, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because they kind of see that and it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. So piggyback onto that on when Kendrick did the Not Like Us video, when they have clips of him,
Mm-hmm.
they have clips of him, and dude, he was standing there with like Punch and like Top Dog and Schoolboy and Absol and all those,
Mm-hmm.
and bro just looked exhausted. He was just standing there like this, and then all the other guys are all like talking, and he's just like,
Yeah, all this for me, all this attention,
yeah,
all these people for
yeah,
me. As an
yeah,
introvert, that would be tough.
yeah. If you see him, he just bro, social battery was on five
Yeah,
percent. He
yeah.
looks,
Social battery. I like
yeah,
that term.
yeah, dude. He looked so exhausted with his nerdy Geek Squad glasses. Where he was, what did I, what was he wearing?
I don't know. I don't know.
he, he was wearing that, and he just looked so exhausted, and everybody just wanted to touch him, and he just like his body language just looks like he did not want to be there.
Yeah.
But I know every pod we always talk about it. We have to revisit that beef era, like that,
Oh, we got to
and
song
just
by
go through,
song.
yeah, just go by song where we're going through. We approaching 1 year of
Yeah, it's
Not Like Us.
mhm.
So we
Man, what a run it's been.
what a run. It's an absolutely crazy run.
Yeah,
So yeah,
he's definitely he's on a run. Yeah, I don't know when it's gonna stop, but he's on a run.
I think that tour ends somewhere in August. So if you're an OVO fan, you have a long summer coming up.
Who's gonna the boy? He might release a song in the summer because
Uh,
everyone's gonna try to win song of the summer.
yeah, yeah.
you know, not like
Kendrick
us.
also,
It's been the song since it came out. Really.
I, I think it would have died out, but the suing thing kind of prolonged it a little bit.
Hmm.
Now Kendrick got nominated for 10 awards in the American Music Award.
It's in this industry, darling.
Yeah, yeah. Right now, again, to the victor goes the spoil.
That's
So,
true.
so
Choose
it's
to
gonna
stay at home.
it's just stay home. So it's gonna go on for a pretty long time. So, yeah. So that's another episode wrap up for you, Cleats and Beats, episode number 6. We head into 10 pretty soon. Um,
Yeah, but it's been. Thank you guys for listening, joining,
yeah,
subscribing.
yeah. And it looks like we're gaining new subscribers almost every every episode. So
Also,
keep
yeah,
it up. Yeah,
like we said last week, put suggestions in the comments as well.
yeah, yeah,
We'll
for
try to
sure.
try to address those.
Yeah, and see how it goes. So next week we'll come back. We'll recap the Champions League for you, Arsenal, PSG, Bayern, Inter, and everything in between with La Liga, Serie A, and the top four race heating up. And
Yeah, City looks like City's gonna win the semifinal, and they're up to
yeah,
0. 3 minutes
yeah, they
left.
will. So they're probably gonna have their consolation trophy, which will be the Carabao Cup.
The
I
cancellation trophy.
think before them. Yeah, yeah. Let the kids play, Pep.
Yeah, let the kids play.
So thank you again for listening. Um, we'll be back again next week for episode number 7 of
Hmm.
Cleats and Beats. So we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you.
I was the same.